We want more people like Muturi to come out and expose this government, expose Ruto, expose the rot, expose the tyranny that permits through it. Because all he wanted was just to say, if I can do this against the son of a serving cabinet secretary, who are you? Which is exactly what people like Sudi have been doing. They've been saying, look, there's no president who has served one term in Kenya, and we are not going to allow Ruto to be made a one-term president. So even if you don't vote for him, we are going to steal the votes. I want us to send a very clear message to people like that no, we are going to stop you from stealing. And we are not going to allow you even to reach the date of that election. We are going to evict you. I don't like us to be distracted to issues that are secondary or are not important. For example, IEBC, completely relevant. How, sometimes it amazes me why Kenyans are so excited about the IEBC. Why are you excited about an IEBC that Ruto is going to construct in his own image? Why are you excited about an IEBC being set up to serve Ruto directly, worse than Parliament? I mean, Parliament, at least, members of Parliament, no matter how useless they are, have been elected and cannot be removed by Ruto at will. These people being appointed can be removed any day by Ruto. And these people being appointed are nominees of political parties. Raila has nominated his, Kalonzo has nominated his, Mudavadi has nominated his, Wamalo, I don't know, Wetangula has nominated his, Ruto has nominated his. This is a kitchen cabal. How you would expect that this IBC will do anything for the people is what makes me more angry than even I'm angry at Ruto. Because it shows the level of stupidity among Kenyans that is irredeemable. Why are you excited about institutions that mean absolutely nothing? That you are saying, oh, let's look at these ones. These are the changes we can make. These are the positive benefits we can get. You're going to get squat. The only change we should be thinking about now, and the only target that we should be focusing on, is Ruto. Why are you so cowardly that you can't say that? Why are you so useless that you can't actually say Ruto must go? Because if Ruto goes, all this nonsense you're talking about will go with him. So why waste time? Why be scattered in so many fights and so many fronts Ruto has constructed? Ruto has brought you Natembea, so you focus on Natembea. Ruto has brought you Gachagua, you are focused on Gachagua. Ruto has brought you Muturi, now you are diverted to Muturi. Ruto has brought you Shesha, now you are on Shesha. Ruto has brought you Koome, now you are on Koome. How foolish can you be? Ruto is not that smart. So why is he diverting your attention to all useless things? You are on IBC, you are on nonsense. My focus, I am sorry to say, is on Ruto, 100%. Everything else is secondary. It's Ruto and his regime. It is so elementary that when you are fighting to transform a country like Kenya, you have to look for the root of the problem and uproot that problem with its roots. The existential threat to Kenya's economy, to Kenya's Bill of Rights, to Kenyans' constitutionalism, to Kenyans' rule of law, to Kenyans' prosperity is Ruto and his regime. So I will not be one of these people that would come here or anywhere else and get diverted to these other side shows. All these things that you're talking about as wins, as things that will lead to victory, are nonsense. If you recall your member of parliament, what stops Ruto from imposing another one? Like you're engaged in an exercise in futility. What stops Ruto from bribing the new one that you get? Like, honestly. So, I'm sorry, Maj, but I cannot be engaged in a discussion which just exhibits total intellectual confusion, no intellectual discipline, no intellectual rigor. We have to be logical in our analysis. And if we have identified an existential threat to our nationhood, let's deal with that. When a cabinet minister, say, for example, says that his son was abducted by the same government that he serves in, and he tries to deal with this by calling his cabinet colleagues that are responsible for interior, by calling principal secretary for interior, by trying to reach the president, and he was unable to have his son released. And that the only time he was able to do this is by driving uninvited into State House and confronting the president, or Ruto for that matter, and telling him, look, my son, and by the way, I can confess, I spoke with Muturi when his son was abducted as Miguna. And he confirmed to me that, yes, my son is abducted. I don't know where he is. And he was frightened that night that his son was abducted. So I know this man very well. I know that he had already confirmed to me that these people had taken his son. And the president calls Nurdin Haji, whom he had tried to call unsuccessfully, whom Muturi had tried to call unsuccessfully, and who had lied to somebody else that he did not have Muturi's son. And he tells Ruto, yes, I have his son. And says, I will release him within his order to release him. And he says, I will release him within 1 hour. And he does. This is chilling. Because imagine 56 million people, million Kenyans, with no access to Ruto, who cannot drive into State House, who cannot call Nurdin Haji, who cannot call Ray Yomolo, who cannot call whoever the Minister of Interior is. Now it is Murkomen. The other day it was Kindiki. The other day it was somebody else. But who are not able to reach the powers that be. What happens? They turn up at the quarry as dismembered bodies. Or like the body that was just discovered today in Nairobi River. The lady that has just been discovered today, the body that was just discovered today in Nairobi River. Or last week, Richard, whose body was dumped in Nakuru, in Molo. So the point is, Kenyans are dying in droves because they are being murdered and their bodies being discarded like the bodies of wild animals. Is it because their fathers and mothers are not in the cabinet, cannot reach the president, and are unable to have their sons and daughters released like Leslie Muturi? This is chilling. Because it should not be that we live in a country where our security depends on our friendship, on our relationship with the president. It cannot be. It cannot be that we live in a country where courts of law issue writs of habeas corpus against the head of police and other security, senior security officers to produce those that they have abducted. and they fail to show up in court with no consequences. And obviously, even if they issue orders, the courts issue orders against these people, I expect no compliance. Because remember, Marge, I am on record. I am probably the only one in Kenya with more than 30 orders issued in my favor and with no compliance during Uhuru Ruto regime between 2018 to 2022. Even as we speak, there are orders, most of the orders that were issued in my favor have not been complied with. Matiang'i and the rest, these people making noise saying that the alternative to Kenya's problems. Matiang'i has not complied with Justice Odunga's order that fined him 200,000 on March 29, 2018. He has not complied with Justice Chacha Mwita's orders of December 14, 2018. And he has not complied with so many other orders. So he has absolutely no moral authority, no authority whatsoever to purport to represent anything other than the most backward, the most reprehensible moral degeneration. This is a man who should be in jail for 40 years. So I'm sorry I went on and on, but that's my response, that it is quite something. But we have to thank Muturi. I know many of you have been attacking him. We want more people like Muturi to come out and expose this government, expose Ruto, expose the rot, expose the tyranny that permits through it. Because all he wanted was just to say, if I can do this against the son of a serving cabinet secretary, who are you? Which is exactly what people like Sudi have been doing. They've been saying, look, there's no president who has served one term in Kenya, and we are not going to allow Ruto to be made a one-term president. So even if you don't vote for him, we are going to steal the votes. I want us to send a very clear message to people like that no, we are going to stop you from stealing. And we are not going to allow you even to reach the date of that election. We are going to evict you from public office, even if it is by force. Thank you.